Hey, and if you're seeing this, congrats on becoming the god of your reality. I made this guide just in case others like me ever show up. Gods who need a bit of a guidance on how to make their world a better place. Now, bear in mind, you're a god. No decision you make is inherently wrong. This isn't a book of law. Since you're not one of the people I'm lording over, I have no idea what you believe in or what kind of ideals you hold. You might disagree with me, and that's totally fine. But I do think one thing is probably true for the two of us. You've accepted becoming a god because you had a vision. Because your world was broken in some way and you wanted to fix it. Mine certainly was. My society was on the verge of collapse, and I constantly found myself imagining how I'd do things if I just had the power. Well, now I do, and now you do too. So, let's get into it. As a god, you can do almost anything. Almost. There are some limits. For example, you can't directly control free will. That's part's forbidden. Locked. Untouchable. But, like with most things, there are workarounds. For example, you could will a serum into existence, one that forces people to comply, something that alters their thoughts, their priorities, bends them to fit your vision. That's technically allowed. I chose not to go that route, not because it's wrong, but because it didn't sit right with me. It wasn't the kind of world I wanted to create. But you know what, maybe it fits yours. That's the point of this guide, not to tell you what's right, just to share what worked for me. If you decided that your world needs obedience to survive, and you've decided that's the way, then it is. You're God now. Every decision you make is the right one by design. But if you're still reading this small little guide of mine and in need of advice, I'd go on a limb and say you don't want the easiest solution. You want the one you feel at peace with. The one where you go each day to your bed and sleep soundly. In which case, here's something you need to consider before making any decision. Since you've just become a god, your instincts are still human. So, the first thing you'll likely do is grant yourself immunity. No hunger, no disease, no death. I personally decided to keep hunger. Between you and me, I love eating too much to give it up. But once those survival needs are covered, those same instincts, human instincts, might tell you to start eliminating your enemies. To eliminate the threat. Wipe out a few countries, maybe. Erase those who disrupt peace and misbehave. I will keep repeating this time and time again. You can do this as a god. Genocide is allowed. But if you're second guessing yourself for even a moment, consider this. Killing anyone isn't really necessary anymore. Not for you. Especially when you're a god. No one can hurt you anymore. You're safe. And humans, the things you used to be, they're fire. Fire can burn, kill, rage, destroy everything in its path. You've seen it. You know that. But as a god, you have the capacity to be the furnace. A being that can hold the fire, shape it, channel it, give it purpose, contain it if it gets too hot. You can't please everyone. That saying doesn't apply to someone like you anymore. Now you can. That's it for the introduction. If you want more, please let me know, and have a great day.